Hello, how are you?
Doing good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So I had a question for you. I saw your online rates and the monthly membership fees. I'm curious, is that pretty standard? Do you guys do anything for first timers, or do you kind of offer a la carte menu type thing?
How many times do you think you're coming? That's the question.
Well, that's a good question, actually. That's actually the most pertinent question. I'll give you the rundown of what I was thinking. So, about a
Mm,
month ago, actually more like 2 weeks ago, I switched over on health insurance plans. And
mm,
in that process, me and my wife had to switch our primary care doctors, and my results
okay.
didn't come back so hot. So my wife is now insisting that I join a gym. Her
Mm,
feelings are pretty warranted. But here's what I was thinking. I was actually what I had in mind was I would actually pay half of the monthly fee and not show up. And then if my wife called, that you guys would just let her know that I had been really in there busting my hump, working out really hard.
wait, what? Can you repeat that again?
So, I mean, where do you want me to start or finish?
Like the signing up part. I still didn't get that part just now.
So, so yes, I would pay half of the monthly fee and not show up to any classes or waste anybody's time. And if my wife called, that you would let her know that I was really in there working out really hard.
Oh. Um. I mean, you should try to come and try our classes first before you start doing that, so you know what to expect. Because I rather not want you to just pay the classes and not do anything.
Well, I
You know what
mean,
I mean?
that's a matter of opinion. What I'm saying is
Yeah.
is like here's free money. I don't even have to use the facility. I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
I just need a backstory.
Okay.
And what are your thoughts
Yeah.
on this?
Pardon?
What are your thoughts?
I mean, I rather not want to lie to your wife that you've been working out here.
Hmm.
So that's why I would rather for you to come and check it out first. And I mean, it's not too exhausting to work out.
Right. See, this is the salesman in you talking, and I understand that and I appreciate that. But see, what I really need is just a honest, like, yep, I can do that, or no, not for us. Because if it's not for
Um,
you, go ahead.
I would rather not do that. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Hold on. Okay, I'll pay the whole monthly fee.
Sure. When are you gonna be coming in?
No, I won't be coming in. I'll just pay the whole monthly fee to for you to lie to my wife.
Okay.
You cool with that?
Yeah. Sure.
All right. So who else do I need to talk to in there just to kind of give the backstory to you? Your manager, other employees.
Well, I'm gonna be on the phone most of the time, so whoever calls, I'll be picking up from them.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. If we're gonna do this, I feel more comfortable coming in, and just kind of meeting you, and then that way
Yeah.
I can kind of give you a little bit more detail what you need to tell her. But she's a real
Yeah.
sweetheart. She's a real class act, and
Yeah.
she's not going to be checking my waistband or my weight or anything like that. You're in the clear,
Yeah. I
okay?
mean, if you don't want to do it like that way, I can at least give you a diet guidance. I mean, if you don't want to follow it, you don't have to, but at least you get some money from it, from what you're paying. You know
Gotcha,
what I mean?
gotcha. Hey, what's your name?
This is Paul speaking.
Paul. You're a real sweetheart. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds good. Let's do this. If you have some time, I mean, I don't want to. I know time is money to everyone. If you have time, if you don't mind coming to our gym,
Mm-hmm.
and I can just give you a quick guidance on your diet real quick, and then it's only going to be 5 minutes. And if you don't want to follow it, you don't have to. It seems to be working really well to most people who try to follow it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, that you know what that sounds like a good trade off. And you know what? If I don't like it, I'll give it to her, and if she doesn't like it, I'll just we'll eat corn on the cob for the rest of the year. All right. Hey, Paul.
Yep.
Appreciate your time, man. Thank you.
No problem, man.
Take care. Bye bye.
It's so funny.
It's Cockney. It's Cockney with a it's a Cockney. Okay, it's like if you had a Cockney accent, but you worked for the royal family, and like you just, it's slowly like started to soften the edges a little bit.
Yeah.
You mean you were born with it, but then it got refined?
Yes, like you were like some street urchin kid. Like, oh you already know today. It's like, listen, son, why don't you come up to the mansion and you clean the floors? Like, okay. And eventually you start to talk like my cocaine. And now, you're a little refined, but you still got the Cockney accent in you. But it's a little softer around the edges. It's not quite as harsh on the eardrums,
And you pronounce Cockney like cock and knee, right? You combine
Cockney,
those
yeah.
words and then say it like you're one of those silly. I don't even know what silly Englishman.
It's a wanker. You want to say a silly wanker, like a wanker.
Wankers. That's one of my favorite lines in Spinal Tap. Get done exchanging pleasantries, say hello to each other. Hi, how do you do? Well, do you do? Wankers. Goddamn wankers.
By the way, for whatever reason, I fell down a rabbit hole of watching like people from Australia. And dude, I got us banned on Twitter for using the word cunt. They use that like it's just a fluid linking word. Like rather than have silence in their speech, they just say cunt. Like, it's just a filler word for the Aussies. So I don't know why I got banned on Twitter.
Well, you probably lambasted them about their wildfires that destroyed a chunk of the nation, and then talked about their lizards and all these other crazy animals and all this other shit that they do. If I recall, this was back in February. We weren't a big fan of the country.
I know, but I'm sure they have a good sense of humor, and they're like, shut up, you cunt. That's probably all they said. What a fucking cunt. I just got called a cunt like 30 times.
I hope you're on their blackball list. I mean, I'm not rooting for you, but it would be nice if they threw down this long, scroll. Here we go. Yep. There he is, Mr. Ma. He's out.
They're run by the Queen. The Queen is their bitch. They are the Queen's bitch, should I say.
Wait, they're not under English rule anymore.
Yes, they are. Look it up. Look it up. If they annex the Prime Minister, the Queen can take over the country. Look it up.
Okay.
They have BBC TV because they're still under the British rule. Technically, kind of like Canada.
I think
the Brits aren't going to do anything.
Okay.
Storm the beaches of Australia and see what the fuck happens.
I mean, it's not like the Brits that rule. Do they still rule the Falklands? Is that still British territory?
I mean, a lot of them died for it, so I'm sure it is. I don't know, man. I think that's why the Queen is still in charge. Like they let her pretend to be in charge of England because they have so much land. From what I understand, the British royals are just really super wealthy landowners. It's just the people took over the main island. And they still own all those little nitpicky islands all over the globe, which just makes them absurdly wealthy for no reason at all whatsoever. And I guess the British just fine, we'll protect your land. Nobody's going down there to take it anyway, but that's yours, and we'll pay you a stipend just so we can go have fun vacation times in Turks and Caicos or wherever the fuck it is.
They gave them rule with strings attached. Sure, it's yours, but we get to come down and bask in your glory, enjoy your beaches. Fornicate with your men and women, whatever our flavor is, and your lizards.
How that factors in,
and your lizard people. You lizard people. I was going to tell you boys today. This week, I thought I had done it. I had done it, but only half of the way because with our YouTube page, which you guys have access to, my personal YouTube page, which was my name, Wes Fox, and I made no points about it. And you guys obviously know what a vast majority of my commenting dealt with, correct?
Conspiracy theories and
Yeah, for the most part.
Schmuckery.
And I just got out of the blue, out of nowhere, got an old email from the YouTube community resource page. It said, "Yep, terminated. Too many violations of our policies of hate speech and dirty language and filthy things like that." Yeah, so my heart skipped a beat because I thought for a minute that our YouTube page, the Middle Classholes YouTube page, was no longer. I was like, "Oh
I'd
shit!"
have been okay with that.
You'd have been okay with that?
Yeah,
Why is that?
Why?
Why?
because you can make another one.
Well,
Easy,
no.
guys. Relax.
well, I can't.
What? Our YouTube page? You said?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make another one. We still have all the videos. The videos didn't go nowhere.
That's a lot of work.
How many followers we got on YouTube?
God, 44,
Yeah, okay.
45.
Yeah, I think we're all right.
You make a good
Plus,
point.
I will fucking use that scandal like the marketing fucking tool it is. Get us blocked. Actually, send me the fucking page where YouTube told you you're blocked, and
the
I'll
email?
fucking use that.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Firebomb.
how is it that, because we aren't blocked, it was just my personal page.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, so I'll forward
Doesn't
that
matter?
to you. No,
You're
no,
like, damn it.
No,
They're censoring Fox.
I
We can't stand for this, audience.
Well, yeah, because you made the Middle Classholes with a whole separate email address and all that
Yeah.
jazz. So yeah, you're fine. You're separated from it. That's fine. That's cool.
YouTube's are just Gmail addresses now. That's it.
Yeah.
true. Well,
So,
listen, I
Whichever Gmail address you're using.
I thought I thought I had fucked us. I thought I had fucked us royally, but now I can't comment on my old page. I can't. I no longer have that brand name of commenting on 9/11 conspiracy theory videos, and a large chunk of my day is now open. I'm a lot more productive. I can I can put my mind towards hobbies that help and benefit me. Reading, learning things.
You're not.
No.
You're not doing any of that. I want to know this. Like, how fired up are you getting in these, clapback comments that you're doing? Like,
Well-
because it's hard to get outright banned these days especially when you're going after conspiracy theorists.
Yeah. So, first of all, I appealed twice. A couple, and they were both sincere
As
and
you
apologies. And I said, but the second time around, I said, I didn't get a warning or at least a temporary ban. I feel, nothing I said was, fuck your mother or weird things like that or anti-Semitic. Because some of the shit that these guys type is wildly, Jew hating. I don't know. I do call these people twoofers, TWOOFERS, and that's a play on a truther, which is what a lot of these conspiracy theorists have been called, because their truth movements, a lot of their organizations revolves around the word truth. We want the truth. I call them twoofers because I don't believe that that's what they're after. They're actually they're out to push their own agenda. It really fires them up. Now, insult. Yeah, I may call someone.
Is twoofer, is that a sanctioned word in some capacity, or is it just something you made up?
I didn't make it up. No,
is it a term known by others?
It's known by people in my community, the debunking community.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. No, I did not make that up. I can't lay claim to that, and I can't give myself credit for that one. But I do push it. I do peddle it. If that is hateful or even remotely somehow, I don't know. The word's chucked around pretty vastly. It's used more than cunt in the Outback. So if you check it out. So I don't know. I really don't know. I certainly call people idiots, call people morons. I tell tinfoil hat. I use that term a good bit. Not really sure what it was. They wouldn't give me an example. So here I am, YouTubeless.
I want to deep dive on this twoofer word, because I feel like maybe this is, you've been using it, but maybe you weren't completely aware of its origin. I'm wondering if in the retarded community is going to have to forgive me for this, but I wonder if it's kind of like a play on, oh, you're a twofer, like someone was using the mental retardation voice, if you will, and attached it to truther, and then you don't realize. Here we go.
Sure. This is Urban Dictionary by no stretch or no by no means the I put Webster's Dictionary of Things.
I was going to say, excuse you, sir. This is the urban version of Merriam-Webster, so fuck off. This is every bit as fucking factual.
Okay,
And
fair
I
enough.
believe that.
So it has 2 lines. Mer, go ahead if you want, or do you want me to read it?
I can do it. Twoofer. The first definition, derogatory term for those on the outer edges of the 9/11 truth movement. Definition number 2, derogatory term for any conspiracy theorist or political extremist who regularly uses the phrase speaking truth to power. The twoofer, I can't even say it. The twoofer said it. I was following the sheeple for not believing 9/11 was done with holograms. What? And that was him speaking truth to power. Do they really believe that?
Is that
Wait a
one
minute,
of them?
Is that one of the
Listen,
things?
there is a fringe movement amongst the 9/11 conspiracy theorists that even by the standards of most truthers or twoofers, whatever you want to use, they think these people are nuts. That holograms were shown going into the buildings rather than actual planes. That is a theory amongst these folks.
Like, okay, and what's the average age range of that particular subset of trufa? Because
It's
they
tough to say.
can't.
I don't have accurate data on the on age and the demographics of these folks.
Okay, because I mean, I'm 41, so that means I was 22 when 9/11 happened. So I had a reasonable adult brain watching this tragedy occur on American soil, and so I know that I maybe had a Motorola like brick style cell phone at the time. There really wasn't any digital photography out there. And the fact that they were still recording things onto Betamax tape for news cameras tells me that there's no way in fucking hell there was a hologram available even to the United States military in the year 2001. So I'm just wondering if these people are kind of using their like teenage, early 20s brains and using what's available now and attaching it to something that happened almost 20 years ago.
Well, see, first of all, I'd like to point out that even to someone, I'll take it just one step back from conspiracy theorists who don't doubt that planes were hijacked and flown into buildings. There is a group of people who believe that drones were used, that these planes weren't manned by hijackers, that they went off somewhere else and a drone was flown remotely by some military agency and flown in. Those people even think the hologram people are fucking lunatics. So just for frame of reference. But a lot of these
drone people make sense in a way, because I can see we can do that even if it was like one dude like Jerry, listen, you're gonna have to take the fall for this one. So you're gonna be piloting like 193 today.
And if you tell
champ.
If you tell anyone, we're going to put hot hangers up your rear end and your family still. But what you'll hear a lot from these folks, especially like the twoofers who believe in the hologram conspiracy, they want to say top secret military industry or top secret military weaponry that they can use. And I always say, God, it was so top secret that you know about it. So it was so buried within the nth degree of military secrecy that you YouTube warrior knows all about it.
Wow. Well, since we're on it, Alan, I've never really gotten your full breakdown. What is your take of 9/11? Because mine's really simple. What happened. That's kind of my breakdown.
Yeah. Nope. I don't have any delusions. I was like 15, 14. I don't know. I was like a sophomore in high school. I think. Yeah. Sophomore in high school. So yeah, no, that shit happened. I watched it happen on television. I watched people freak out. There's a lot of documentaries about it. They're pretty horrifying. Yeah. So yeah, no, nothing from me, my man. We're good. We're all good. I'm sorry to disappoint.
I know, no, that's fine. Actually, no, that doesn't disappoint me. That actually, like, no, that puts another feather in your cap for me there, Alan.
God, that's two. Get them on in there.
Shouldn't have got me fucking going. Well, speaking of wacky shit, our old buddy Elon Musk made news again. SpaceX will not recognize international law on Mars, according to terms of service of its Starlink internet project. Elon Musk's space company will instead reportedly adhere to a set of self-governing principles that will be defined at the time of the Martian settlement. Musk reveals plans to create a self-sustaining city on Mars last week. Though no time frames yet have been put in place for its development, any future colony created by SpaceX would likely use constellations of Starlink satellites orbiting the planet to provide internet connection to people and machines on the surface. Goes on and on. The gist of it is that our old feller Tony Stark in the flesh is going to not adhere to. He's going to basically employ Marvin the Martian to putz around Mars. And enforce a set of laws that have yet to be defined on this colony. Thoughts?
Elon Musk just put a target on his head, and I would expect his first or his second Starship test flight to end in tragedy now, based on him simply saying those words out loud. Tell me I'm wrong.
Wait. So this what we just
he will
read.
establish his own rules and regulations and laws on Mars when he gets there. I think this just put a target on his head.
A conspiracy. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of with him. Like, that's how discovering shit works. Like, if I go up, if I'm me, non-government fucking sanctioned Elon Musk, funds, develops, and fucking takes a colony to Mars, I think he gets to make the rules. We don't get to make the rules.
I agree with you, and I agree with Elon. But we know, okay, I know we all like to think of the old United States government, has its little secrets, and we like to think of it as like, that great shining city on the hill, and it's always out for doing good. We're the big Johnny Do-Gooder on the block. However, you've got a private citizen who just said, fuck your technology, I'll make my own. He's from South Africa. We allow him to, do all of his stuff within the borders of the United States. So I have a feeling that old Uncle Sam and, that mysterious backroom cabal has always thought like, well, Elon's playing for our team. So when we get to Mars, guess what? It's America Junior, baby. We got to plan it. And then Elon comes out and says, oh, no, we're going to roll that shit ourselves. Like, oh, hold on a second there, champ. We weren't really factoring that into the deck of cards here. So you're going to want to walk that back, right? And he's not going to because he's Elon fucking Musk. And I think that puts a target on his head.
I mean, he could. But then I also think he's just like, oh, cool, because now's as good a time as any to go fucking harvest the cadmium I need to take us to fucking Mars in Africa. So peace out, United States. Fucking cradle of civilization. Like,
I'm out, bitches.
Yeah. Like, I mean, dude, yeah. Who loses more here? Like, does Musk lose more if he leaves with the fucking know-how and technology? Or you know what I'm saying? Like who's fucking really strong arming who at this point?
I just think America as an entity is rather short-sighted when it comes to these kinds of things, and we make dumb. Yeah, we just make dumb decisions based on greed in a lot of ways. Yeah, and I just think that the fact that you got a private citizen saying like, no, it won't be America when we get up there. It'll be Musktown.
Oh, yeah, man.
And all my little muskrats are going to go crazy.
No, I'm sure they've got no problem killing his ass. They'll be like, oh, yeah? Well, we'll all die here on Earth. Okay? How's that sound?
Uncle Sam has shown time and time again that if you don't play nice with the Stars and Stripes, they will put on the rubber glove and fuck you real good. Now, I don't know. I mean, in the court of public opinion, you might lose a PR battle if you start going tit for tat with someone like Elon Musk, who has this now. I think one of the key terms of that is no timetable. So you're talking. I mean, it's colonizing, or even what? Let's put a hard stop on what we would consider a colony on Mars. 500 people.
That seems like a lot. Your first colony is probably like fucking 10 people.
Or is it? Do you consider that
Yeah,
a colony?
Well, I could. Okay, I think Alan's right. I think the first set of people that go up there is like 10.
Right.
And then you probably send another 15, 20. So you probably send 10 with like all the shit to set up.
Okay.
Like the bare bones basics. And then you send up like 20 with a little more equipment. And then I think you max out at about 50. And then you really start to set up shop with a bunch of engineers and stuff.
I guess
to keep building.
My point is, like, okay, so at what point do you need to start policing? Because with 10 people, and assuming that all the first 10 people that go up are likely well-rounded, smart, scientific, astronautical individuals, whatever the fuck that is, who aren't trying to break the law. I mean, at what point do you need to start really applying laws to citizens?
Well, I mean, I think you initially have to set up some rules, right? Like
What?
hard, fast rules.
Yeah.
Such
Like,
as
I think
what?
the same kind of rules apply. Like, don't kill anybody. Don't fucking, like, we're on Mars. Let's keep it together.
Mm-hmm.
I think you really just start to see problems when whichever military-minded person they send to defend the Mars colony from aliens, of course, that when that guy gets a little power hungry and like blows someone's brains out in the fucking coffee, like the break room,
Yeah.
then someone at Tesla or Elon or whatever SpaceX is like, all right, guys, we might need to get a handle on some fucking law enforcement. We need some serious regulations, maybe a backup guy with a gun to kill the guy with the gun there to protect people, because that's usually how it happens in movies, right? Like, the guy there to protect everybody, security detail, fucking loses his mind, strong arms everyone, and then all hell breaks loose. Colony dies. So I think that's really, you got to be mindful. Use movies is really what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah. Hollywood is a good litmus test for what this colony may or may not look like.
If you send up a Timothy Oliphant character, like, he's gonna turn on you guys, you should probably fucking just keep that on the back of your mind. Like, that's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Oliphant is the perfect. That is you casted that role perfectly.
I mean,
well
who
done,
else
Alan.
would it be?
It wouldn't be anyone else. There is no choice. It's only him.
Yep.
Now, and I agree. I 100% agree with Musk, because, okay, if you're not going to send anybody back for trial. Corporal Oliphant. Well, he took somebody's fingers off because they took the last potato yesterday. So you have to make up your own rules and say, well, okay, what's retribution here? Do you lock him out for like a couple of souls and let him like burn in the Martian sun for a couple of days? Is that his penance? Like, you've got to come up with your creative rules to keep everybody in check, because you're not going to be able to be regulated by anything that's down here on Earth. So I do agree with him, but I do think that government officials and people who wear lots of ribbons on their chest get really scared when private citizens say they're going to go to an interstellar planet and colonize it and make it their own and say, fuck your rules. I just think they get a little squirmy.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the theory of that probably scares the poopy out of old Uncle Sam in Capitol Hill's rear end. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
There's a fantastic documentary series about something like this. I believe it's called Iron Man, where the government tries to steal a very advanced piece of technology from a private citizen. So yeah, government has a track record of things like this.
This is referring to movies are real, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Everything in this scenario is just based off movies.
Gotcha.
Because he's Iron Man, right? He's like our Iron Man. I mean, do we have another one? Stephen Hawking's
He's
gone.
not nearly as charming
Physically
or
able.
Not nearly as charming or as quick-witted, but we'll go ahead and give him that title based upon what he's done.
Yeah, it's more of a dick.
Yeah.
More of like he's a less charismatic dick. So yeah, I mean that's our Tony Stark. So he's got Iron Man shit, which is Mars bitches. So yeah, what do you do? Like, you can't stop him. He's gonna testify in front of Congress and take a shit on fucking somebody's desk and walk out because he can go to Mars and we can't.
Yeah. Dude, that thing that he has built is fucking amazing. It's basically, and he even mocks it, it's like a grain silo that he is able to launch off the ground and land with the same thrusters. And I just think of all the resources the United States and Russia and any other country on the planet's had for all this time, and it's just this one guy who has figured it all out.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. But here's my main question: what is it about Mars? Because, like you said, it's pretty much shit town when you get there. Mm-hmm. It's just a bunch of red sand and 10 assholes with no personality. Like, what's the fascination with getting there? Is it really supposed to be our home away from home when we destroy our home, or is it some kind of ego boost to be the guy that can do it? Which is it? Is he really trying to save us, or is it he just wants to be like in the history books forever?
No, I think he's for Musk. It's solely egotistical, in my opinion. He's a dick. So I think he just wants to do it. But I think mankind as a whole, it's the next step. It's the ability. We did the moon, but we haven't really done shit other than send hunks of metal that sometimes work, sometimes don't, to other places. This is like sending fucking humans to the next planet over, and being like, okay, so we can go that far. We got you, aliens. We're coming for you. Give us a couple fucking thousand more years, and we'll get to fucking the next planet. You know?
Yeah, and that's the only one that's even remotely habitable. Habitable?
Habitable.
But it's really not.
No, I know it's not. But I'm saying if you, with the right type of equipment, because you go inward, Venus, way too hot. I mean, you're going to smelt. You smelt everywhere. And after that, I mean, you're getting into gas planets. It's really the only thing that you could conceivably build any type of community or dome-like structure and have it. But then again, that's billions and billions of dollars, lots of logistical issues. I mean, you're going to need project managers like myself to figure all this shit out. It's just, but is it possible? Yes. But that's the next best thing. I mean, there's movies upon movies upon movies. We go back to the movie thing about finding something that's like Earth-like, many, many moons and stars away.
You make a good point because, do I have screen share? Can I screen share real quick?
Okay.
Better not be Harry and the Hendersons.
No, it is not Harry and the Hendersons.
There's probably something like that on Mars.
But you bring up a good point. So we have conceptualized going to Mars. We've even tried to practice it. There was a very famous experiment. Two famous everyday civilians stayed in a dome in the desert with a manufactured ecosystem, devices for capturing rainwater. I don't know that it rains on Mars, but hey, I think we've got a little bit of know-how from our friends here to kind of go off of.
Pauly Shore and Billy Baldwin. Wow. What an experiment that was. What a 1 year too. I mean, that was the experiment and it worked with the help of these guys who were normal Joes.
Torture.
This is where assholes like Pauly Shore fuck real things up because they really did that and it really did work, but nobody really gives a shit because the Wees had to make a fucking movie about it.
Purple sticky punch.
Yeah.
But by the way, if they do with Mars, like if we can terraform that son of a bitch, it would be like living in Alaska in the fall if we ever actually get that fucker going. So it's doable, but I just feel like Elon Musk maybe just wants to be like the first chapter in the history of the world part 2, because he's, you know what I mean? Because he's not going to live to see it. He's going to be lucky to make it there, and he does say he wants to go there to die. So that's just. I don't know. It seems like a rather shitty goal for a guy with all that money.
I don't know, man. I feel like he's the dude who puts our heads in jars, like Futurama.
Nixon and
you know what I'm saying? Like he gets us to Mars, and he's like, you know what? Heads in jars. We got it. I think everyone can live forever if you just put your head in a jar.
Yeah.
It is pretty boss because his Tesla Roadster is currently orbiting Mars right now. It's almost like that motherfucker knows he's going, so he just wanted a badass convertible there when he makes his arrival.
Be the first satellite.
That's exactly what it is.
I got to tell you, I had read this article, and it's. I didn't think too much of him before I read this, but I didn't respect him all that much. But he's kind of growing on me. He's kind of making an impression here in the cockles of my heart. I said that sarcastically. I was trying to get you guys to be like, only now.
Just now.
Oh, Elon's my hero, buddy.
Is that right?
No, we knew you were bullshitting.
Can't get nothing by you guys. You guys watch too many movies. Nope. You know the sarcasm.
Sharp.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I apologize that I didn't get a chance to interrupt us. I was too fast into moving into Elon Musk, getting into Mars. Welcome to the Middle Classholes. Wes, Murr, Alan. We like ourselves a good old fashioned sex scandal. And good thing like last week we had our legal correspondent on for asking for a friend. Like always, we have our sex scandal correspondent Alan to give us his insight on one of the latest ones. A bodyguard for Governor Andrew Cuomo, a gentleman by the name of Trooper Dane Pfeiffer, 35, who was having himself a little affair with the governor's daughter. What the hell's her name? Kennedy Cuomo.
Kara Kennedy Cuomo.
Kara Kennedy Cuomo. So apparently they started having themselves a courtship a short time after he took on the governor's detail. Later on, he found out about it. Now the former trooper bodyguard of the state governor is pulling detail. A little town that's about 25 miles south of the Canadian border, 160 miles north of the capital city of Albany. Again, this one brings me back to a less romantic version of The Bodyguard, starring Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston, but also revolves around a lot of movies where they say, and I think it was Mission Impossible when he says, "I want him at a satellite in Alaska before the day's over." It's just like shit like that happens, man. Shit like that happens. Alan, our sex correspondent expert, give us your take on this gentleman feeding the hoo-hoo to the old governor's daughter.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna diddle a politician's daughter, go local. I think go councilman. Fucking. I don't know. Maybe like a county comptroller, something. Governor, motherfucker of New York. I mean, if you're at least gonna go governor, fucking hit me with a fucking, I don't know, like Idaho or something.
Alaska, which is ripe for the pickings, right?
Or Alaska's fucking turmoil. So perfect, but yeah, this is just dumb. I think it's bad. It's a bad move. It's a bad career move. Solid personal move though. She's all right.
Yeah, I was gonna share
right.
this.
Yeah, yes. I mean, she's got a Cuomo-y face.
There it is.
So
thank you.
It's there, but not bad. I don't know if it's worth moving to Albany and hiking up to the Canadian border. Apparently, the request was a voluntary transfer. So how did that go down? You think?
I think it went down like, okay, you listen to me. Here's what's gonna happen. Yo, been fucking my daughter, right? I ain't gonna fire you, but here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna go back to the station, okay? And you're gonna be writing yourself up a little piece of paperwork, and on that piece of paperwork, you're gonna ask for a fucking transfer, because you're either gonna transfer to the Canadian fucking border, or you're gonna transfer to about 6 feet under the Hudson fucking River. You got it? Okay, so why don't you get on out of here, grab yourself a nice piece of pen and paper, and go fuck yourself. I'm fucking my daughter, you little fucking cunt. So that's, I think, how that conversation went down. But I do think it was kind of a good career move for the cop, because hopefully Andrew Cuomo's not a fucking a twoofer. I'm sorry, I was trying to work twoofer in there. Hopefully he wouldn't be a twatty son of a bitch, and he would just drag him aside and be like, "Look, you're a state trooper. This is my daughter. This looks good for both of us. I'm supporting the police. You're nailing my daughter. I hope you're not a cocksucker, because if you are, you're dead." And then, you kind of like, I don't know. I just feel like a cop dating a politician's daughter looks good, especially for the governor of New York, for God's sake. But he's just too, he's too Italian. He's too hot-headed. He got rid of him. And
right.
It's just like a movie script, which is what makes it so cliche.
I was kind of curious if behind all this hoopla and attention via the media if there had been some like, but I love her, man. I'm not going. I'm not going. And he's like, listen, buddy, it doesn't. Do you want 25 miles south of the Canadian border or cement shoes? Like you got your choice. This one sinks.
You've seen me ranting and raving on television for the last year. You
Yeah.
really, I'll kill you. Mm-hmm. This is basically all I'm saying.
And maybe the daughter too was like, no, I'll leave. I'll go. It's like, no, you won't. Mm-mm.
I know, but like, I feel bad for the daughter. Because,
Right.
again, how hot and heavy was the relationship? Was it just kind of like like kind of a screw fest that was going on? Maybe there wasn't really a relationship. Maybe there's just a lot of backseat squad car, steamy window action going down, which doesn't look good for anybody. But if it was a real relationship, then like she's never ever gonna find a dude because they're all just gonna get, voluntarily replaced throughout the tri-state area.
This kind of reminds me. There was a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader who started, or maybe it was a Washington Redskins cheerleader. I think it was, who started dating Chris Cooley, who then basically she was in violation of the cheerleaders union or whatever the fuck it is.
Cheerleaders Guild.
Yeah, and she just said, "All right, well, fuck it. I'm dating an NFL tight end. I don't need this shit anymore," and ended up marrying him.
You guys pay me $50 a fucking week.
Hey, fuck you. Like I'll date this NFL player who I love, and we'll get married. I wonder if there was anything like that, if that could have happened.
So I'm seeing one more piece of information that I think we're leaving out here, and that he was 10 years older than her, and so,
25, 35. That's not egregious.
So, sex scandal correspondent.
Okay.
Official.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All
Right.
I'm saying is that could be a point of contention. Alan, personal opinion, AJ, nothing but a number. Get it in. But he might have had a
There's
problem.
certain numbers. There's certain numbers.
She's 25, presumably on the 7-year plan at fucking, at university. She hasn't she's still maturing. 35, trooper. He's probably divorced once. Maybe he saw something there and was like, I can't be having that.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
So you're saying maybe the governor was like, "Listen, pal, my daughter has a plan, and you are not part of it."
I have a plan for my daughter, and you're not part of it.
This is wait. I listen. I
That's
hope you enjoyed
much
your
more
time. We're not going to sever your pension. We're going to keep you. We're going to keep you on the payroll. Unfortunately, it's not going to be anywhere around the greater Albany area. We're going to shoot you a little north. You're going to enjoy your time up there.
Just gonna have you using maple syrup for lip balm for the next 30 years, bud.
And we'll
We're
put
retired. We'll be good to go.
we'll put you on security detail for local councilman, maybe a mayor of a town of 3,500, 4,000 people. You can have fun
Gonna
that
have
way.
to block a road for the great beaver hunt up there.
Sounds like you already won the Great Beaver Hunt. And by the way, I want to see a picture of this guy. Like, because if he's halfway handsome, he could get himself probably a pretty rockin' like deal on like The Bachelor or something like that at this point.
All right, Twoofer. Damn it, Dane Pfeiffer.
I mean, his name is Dane.
Yeah,
So take from that what you will.
Dane Pfeiffer. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find something.
What's it? Has he got a LinkedIn?
Hold on. No, this was on straight up on off of Google search. I mean,
He looks like a trooper.
yeah.
Oh, I mean, he looks all right. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
he's
not a bad looking.
Got chiseled
Looking
jaw.
champ.
Yeah. It's a lot of
Very jarry.
her and the governor. So I get it. It's probably tagged to infinite amounts of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I get it. Doesn't ring any bells, sound the alarms, et cetera, et cetera.
He's definitely dabbling in some confiscated methamphetamines, if you know what I'm saying. That jawline's a little too chiseled.
Yeah, people don't get that by working out, eating well.
I work in Elkton.
That's ridiculous.
I know what a meth jawline looks like.
Christ. Speaking of life, Andrew, I always ask this because a child's early memories of certain holidays fascinate me, and we just celebrated Halloween. Tell us about it. Tell us what you did with the young one. Tell us if he was all juiced up, sucking down fucking Kit Kats by the gallon, by the boatload.
Oh yeah, this nice COVID Halloween that we just celebrated. He dressed up like Super Mario and the Super Brothers,
Right.
and
That last week.
yeah, he wore a mask, and then we went around a neighborhood nearby that is usually chocked full of childhood joy and children in their ghouls and goblins outfits and whatever creative nonsense their parents have come up with. And normally it would be just filled with people at the ends of their driveways with campfires handing out candy. And it was like you were in some sort of apocalyptic desert town and just maybe like one person in one driveway. Then there was a lone table set up with a sign on it that said, "Please take one or you'll be chased with a chainsaw." And yeah, so I think he actually literally only got to trick or treat to 3 live human beings. And then we just kind of walked around with a lantern praying that there was a wayward candy bar at the end of a dark lit driveway. So yes, it was poor kid. I thankfully, so he's 6. He just turned 6, so he's just barely over the line of 5. So I don't know how much he's going to remember of this. He was just jazzed to go up and actually say the words trick or treat to another human being. And we did one because we thought that might be the only person in town that was handing out candy. And so I was like, all right, buddy, that might be it. So he's like, I got the trick or treat. And it almost broke my heart. I almost started crying because I'm just like, hey, you don't know what it's like. Oh, man, you don't know what real trick-or-treating's like, buddy. I'm so sorry that you've been denied this memory. And then I drove down about 2 blocks, and there was like 4 or 5 little houses kind of scattered about. But it was so bad because I saw all these kids go up to one door. I was like, ooh, we got a live one. All right, buddy, let's skip on up there. And we walk down the driveway. We get all the way to the door, and lo and behold, it's just a pumpkin head filled with little Kit Kat bars. Like, son of a bitch.
That was the take one. That was the
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, well, I'm glad he enjoyed himself even for a fleeting moment. I do I'll tell you what. We had 2 trick-or-treaters. Alan, you live a block away. Do you have any, or were you even around?
No, we were around. I don't think we did. I don't think we had a single one.
So we bought a econo-sized box of 2-foot pixie sticks that are probably like 3 to 4 times the circumference of a pixie stick. We bought this one because it has some distance. You know what I mean? You're not like hand to hand.
Okay.
You got a little thing. And 2, we all 3 needed to agree on something that we weren't going to indulge in. If you bring shit here, we're likely going to eat the fuck out of it. We were like, yeah, I'm not fucking with a 2-foot fucking half inch circumference pixie stick and 2 trick-or-treaters. We have a box of fucking 58 of them. Or yeah, it was a box of 75. So 73 left. I don't know what we're going to do with that shit. I'd just like give it away, throw it out.
Gender reveal. Fake gender reveal parties.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. I got to tell them not to throw it away. But
And by the way, you are an enormous asshole because that just means you were because as something I wouldn't have thought about until I spawned, the fact that you were handing out 2 feet of sugar to someone's child, which is you can't cap that fucker off either. So little Jimmy's gonna just be walking away and just fucking just powder down the gullet, just pure granulated confectioner's sugar. So yeah, you're kind of an asshole in that department. The kid would have been happy with it, but the parents were gonna have like 3 days of like trying to like send them to rehab to get off the sugar high.
Wait, so they have a bag, and you insert what kind of bag it is. It doesn't matter, but full of Reese's, Kit Kats, peanut M&Ms, Snickers, gummy bears, all that stuff. The scales get tilted infinitely in the asshole department because I had a 2-foot pixie stick.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because no real kid wants a pixie stick anyway. I mean, it does enhance it when it's a 2-foot pixie stick. Don't take me wrong. But pixie stick is not a sought after candy. I mean, I like all your rationales. Like, I don't want to be stuck at home. Like, we usually get Reese's cups, like the two pack Reese's cups to hand out, like, which is a legit candy. But I will sit up after one of these podcasts when I've had one too many Coors Lights, and I will just start housing Reese's peanut butter cups because they're my favorite candy. So I do appreciate your logic and like not, killing yourself with the candy, but just what you're feeding these children is just criminal.
I wonder what a good alternative would be. But what I was going to say is, on a more human level, a more like, emotional note, I feel for your son and people who are, I'd say anywhere from 10 to 13, 14 years older than him. And that's a large window, but yes, it sucks for us. It does. It sucks for everyone. Everyone who's living through this, it sucks for. But we're adults. You're only a child for so long. You're only a kid, and you have the rest of your fucking life to be an adult, a tax-paying, job-having, 9 to 5, fucking grind it out, common middle asshole. But you're only a child for so long, and this is robbing them of formative years. It breaks my heart. Breaks my heart to watch it. But your boy bounced back. He had the spirit. He saw his glass half full, probably more than half full.
Yeah, he's a very optimistic little kid. Like I won't say he's easily amused, but he's easily satisfied with stuff like that. So yeah, but me, I was disappointed for him. But again, thankfully he's not old enough to realize, like, this would have been the first year that he really realized what kind of loot you could walk away with during a Halloween, Like, now next year, I feel like I'll be able to kind of like let go of his hand and just kind of let him roam free. Fly, birdie, fly to that door. Take that fucking knapsack full of candy home with you as your bounty. But I will say that, I mean, he did get filled up because there were these two guys at the end of a driveway sitting by a campfire. And I was like, hey, you guys are keeping warm, aren't you? And I looked over and they had about maybe a third of a handle bottle of Fireball left. I was like, keep them warm on the inside too, aren't you? They're like, oh yeah. Like, hey, come here, kid. And he just dumped his entire fucking bucket into my boy's little satchel there.
Yeah. Alan, I assume the main streets of Arbutus had some good fucking trick-or-treat getting.
Oh yeah, dude. You've seen where my parents live. Like,
yeah.
That was a gold mine.
More, think of it like, so where I grew up, and then Aiken Avenue. Think about blocks that long and both houses on both sides, but more, probably like all the side yards are mostly filled in. And then picture that for miles, just miles
Basically.
long.
Like, I think like a run down, all the way down and all the way back up, just my street growing up was like a solid like 2 hours, maybe a little over, depending on like the day. Yeah. So it was like we didn't have to leave the block, but you could. And because the surrounding blocks were all the same. So as we got older, we got more adventurous. We had bikes. We were allowed to go further away. So yeah, but yeah, that was some good shit. Good candy halls.
Well, in West, where I live. Now, Alan, where I live, every house has about at least an acre of land at minimum. And that stretches on for miles upon miles. And I was telling my wife, I was like, when I was maybe 2 years old, maybe 8 years old, me and my brother would get on our BMX bikes and we would ride down Dr. Jack Road for 5 miles until we hit like a kind of a neighborhood, but not really. Like where everybody had a half an acre of land, and that's where we would go. And I was like, could you imagine us letting our kid at like 5, 6 o'clock after the sun's gone down, ride his bicycle, one-armed with a bag of candy just to go out and do this fucking thing? Like, you guys don't realize how spoiled you were. I had to earn my shit.
Yeah, man, it's a bummer.
Yeah.
It's a bummer. I just assumed your parents would like pick you up and drop you off at this. They didn't do that?
Maybe from the time we were like 6 to maybe 2 years when I was from like 6 to 8. And then after that, my brother's 5 years older than me. So it's like, take your brother in here. And then we would go down the road. By the way, what was your best, okay, as a kid, what was your best Halloween costume, in your opinion?
Boy, I mean, kid, when do you say you stop being a kid when you stop trick-or-treating?
Your best Halloween costume.
I mean, I had cool ones when I was in high school and I wasn't trick-or-treating.
Okay, your best, I should legally be allowed the trick-or-treat costume.
Yeah, fine. Boy. All right. I really don't remember too many of my good ones. I didn't remember. I had a good Batman one. It was like one of those face like silicone ones that I had to squeeze to get on, and ironed on the logo and had a cape. I don't know if that's
That's cool.
I was Paul Orndorff when I was a young kid.
Did anybody know what that was?
Fuck no, dude. Don't know who Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff was when I was that old.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah. Really, really awesome.
What year did
Go ahead.
Terminator 2? Okay, here you go. Terminator 2 came out in 1991, and I had saved up my my allowance money, so I'd have been 12. And they were selling. Okay, I don't know if you remember this scene. It's where the T2 smashes, or the T1000 smashes Arnold's face with like that giant like steel beam, and that's when it exposes half of his face.
Yeah.
Well, they sold the half the face. Now you got to remember, this is 1991 technology here. So they sold like a plastic piece of like the Terminator skeleton face with a red like LED fucking eyeball. And of course, you had to have a battery pack that went all the way to your back pocket, and it came with like the silicone kind of putty that you would put around the edges.
Are you saying you wore this?
I wore this. I'm getting somewhere with this
because I wore it too, and I'm trying to think about it. And what you're telling me is, yeah, I had the red eye and the battery pack thing.
So I wore this thing for Halloween, and you couldn't see out of the left eye. And you had this bright-ass red light right over top of your exposed eyeball. And I was probably trick-or-treating for 3 hours. And to this day, if I close one eye and then open the other one, there is a color difference between the two eyes.
You burnt out some color on the old right eye there?
The rods and the cones are damaged for life because of this fucking untested piece of technology from 1991. Still my best Halloween costume ever. Totally worth it.
I don't know if it ever fucked me up. I had it as well. And we're talking about the same thing. That's one of these ones I was going to tell you. Later on, I wasn't trick-or-treating. I was going out with some friends. And my dad thought it was funny 1 or 2 years. 1 year in particular where he went and bought legitimate chicken feet. Okay. And his whole deal was that there were older trick-or-treaters, people who were coming around as teenagers, like, trick-or-treat. So he thought it was like, all right, here you go. Boom. And most people got a kick out of it. And the family that lived down the street for a long time, the Jacksons, Ryan, who's been on the show, his youngest brother, Dustin, came up, and my dad was like, oh, I know him. He's a neighborhood kid. And was like, hey, look at this. And he didn't even look at it. It was like, boom. Like started walking down the street, and we had to call his mom and say, hey, look, don't call the police, don't get all fucking alarm, there's a chicken foot in your son's fucking Halloween trick-or-treat bag. They were like, what? Are you fucking kidding? I thought it was funny. I thought it was a great joke.
That's awesome.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah. So,
Nice.
welcome back to the Middle Classholes. About 4 years deep. Listen, we like to talk about Darwinism. We like to talk about the gene pool. We like to talk about humans doing stupid things. Us in particular really help out. Really get this show going on. And Murr, you had sent this, and I'm God damn, you come up with some gems here. Hold on, I'm going to minimize this so that way I can read it.
You just want me to hit the headline? I'm going to hit the headline real quick.
Yeah.
Florida man mauled by black leopard after paying $150 for, quote, full contact experience.
Right.
He got his money's worth, baby.
Dwight Turner is suing real estate investment expert and exotic animal breeder Michael Poggi, P-O-G-G-I, after claiming he was mauled inside an enclosure built behind his home. According to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, the attack occurred on August 31st, or a few months out. This is where it gets good here. In its report, they said the 50-year-old was charged the sum was $150 to enter the fully grown felines enclosure and, quote, play with it, rub its belly, take pictures. Apparently he got his like 3/4 of his fucking scalp ripped off, got a few other dings and bruises, and now he's suing. Listen, Murray, you're the animal expert. I'm going to start with you. I have my thoughts on this, but I mean, does it really lend any credence to this guy, is anything other than an idiot, a moron?
I think he in the court. Okay, when the judge rules, obviously there's a few other things he's going to have to figure out here. But as far as like the plaintiff versus the defendant, I think the guy who got the full contact experience actually owes more money because he got more than a full contact experience. He got well above his money's worth. Not only did he get to go in and pet the black leopard and rub its belly and all that, he also got to experience what it's like to be the prey to an apex predator. Most people don't get to walk away from that experience with their life. This guy, look, if you want to go and fuck with a wild animal, expect to be fucked with by a wild animal. He got more than his money's worth. Absolutely.
Straight up.
No.
Rubber gloved.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He's lucky he didn't get mounted.
Alan.
I mean, this is just dumb, but outright. But I think you said he got some dings and some bruises.
Well, his scalp mostly ripped off.
Yeah, his scalp was left hanging from his head, and his right ear was torn in half. There's some fucking dings, man. Light scratch. Put a little Neosporin on it. It'll be all right. Yeah, this is what Carol Baskin's fucking crusading for, is to this poor animal had to almost murder a human. He didn't want to. He was put in the position to have to nearly murder a real estate investor
slash exotic animal
handler, or whatever his title was. I like how later in the article it says that he admits to the charges, but he's licensed to have it. So
wait,
I don't know. He failed in a lot of ways here, is all I'm saying.
He admits to the charges, but he's like, so who made that quote?
Authorities told the site. Authorities told this website that he was charged with allowing full contact with an extremely dangerous animal, and was cited for maintaining captive wildlife in an unsafe condition. And said he admitted to the charges, but he's licensed to have the animal. So, I mean, I guess you can have it. You just can't do anything with it.
Right. Can't allow bozos to go in there for the belly rub experience at $150 a pop.
Yeah, like you can't let a jackwagon in like Lucky Jeans and a white button down roll up in a fucking convertible and have at it with fucking your fully grown leopard. It seems like a bad business model.
Right.
Okay. Well, here, this brings up a question in my mind, though. So would he face 0 charges if he didn't charge any money? Because it sounds like if he's allowed to have it, and if your buddy comes over and is like, hey, man, can I take a look at your black leopard? Yeah, go ahead. Hold on. Give me $150 first. I'll let you touch it. I feel like that's where he might have gone wrong. Because if it's like, hey, can I go in and pet your black leopard? Yeah, sure. Go. Have at it. If you're dumb enough to step in a cage with a wild animal and the guy's allowed to have it and you get mauled, then that's just fucking on you. But I feel like maybe there's this like implied notion that you won't get mauled if you hand over the $150. Like somehow like that is like your get out of jail free card. Is like, oh, well, if he's charging me money, then it's not going to kill me. Wrong in both departments.
I feel like the $150 is basically just malpractice insurance. Like you're just You're just saving that up for the time that you leave fucking tongs inside your liver transplant. Like, so that's really, you're just waiting on the mistake and the $150. Like, because this
All
guy
done.
signed a waiver.
Suture him up. All done.
This guy signed a waiver, and now his lawyer's being like, well, whole thing's fucking illegal, so waiver's useless. Throw that right out the window. You get what I'm saying? So the guy had to, I mean, obviously the guy owning the fucking leopard in what state is this? Who knows? It doesn't matter.
It's probably Texas. I'm just going to say Texas.
Texas, yeah.
Florida, but
I was going to say Florida, but you know, there's only room for one cat wrangler in Florida. I think we all know who that is. So fucking, yeah, man, it was just silly all the way around. If I have a leopard, I'm not letting fucking, you know, Jim the house salesman fucking come in and
then what's the point of having a leopard then?
Because it's just cool. I have a leopard.
No.
Yeah.
This comes back to my hatred of tropical fish people, because tropical fish are a pain in the ass to keep. Okay, you got to keep treating the water. They got to have like a certain pH. There's got to be a certain salinity to the water. You got to put pieces of coral in there. It's just a lot of effort to look at something. And it's the same thing with a leopard. Like, you can't go in there and cuddle and play with it. And apparently if you do, you lose 3/4 of your head. So I don't.
Well, we
if
don't.
You go ahead.
I was gonna say we don't have any like legit data on the amount of times that this cat did allow someone in its exposure and did offer up belly rubs and pictures. You know, maybe this was the first of 1,000. You know, you can't judge a cat by its color of its coat or whatever they say. I don't know.
Careful, buddy. We're in tense times. This is a black leopard.
I was going to say, this is a
all right, yeah, that's didn't mean to get racial with the cats.
Cut that in post.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, there's no point in having a leopard unless you're letting people in to touch it. And whenever you have a wild animal, the chances that it takes somebody's face off, I'd feel are above zero, which makes it a terrible idea on everybody's part.
Well, listen, Darwinism's a real thing, okay? And yeah, we're in times where people are getting smarter. People are finding cures for rare diseases. People are building transcontinental trains that'll get you from one city to another in record times for using the amount of energy of a single battery. People are building jetpacks that can go 6,000 feet. But at the same time, you're always going to have morons who are doing really, really stupid things who, in my opinion, they likely more often than not deserve to die. George Carlin said it. Little Timmy goes and plays by the train tracks. Little Timmy gets hit by a train. Perhaps there's a reason why little Timmy didn't live past 5 years old, because he was going to muddle this gene pool to shit. Gene pool's getting wider and thinner. All right. We're going to find idiots who crawl into a panther cage for belly rubs and Polaroids. Perhaps whatever the fuck this guy's name and occupation was, we might be better off without him.
I agree with your sentiment for the most part, and I appreciate your soliloquy there. However, I don't think we're getting smarter. I think there is a very thin line
segment about Elon Musk, but go on. Yeah.
Well, that brings up my point. It's all the things you said of people are doing this, that, and this. He's the only one doing this, that, and this. We talk about the 1%, like, oh, the 1% got all the wealth. I think there's only 1% that have all the smarts too. I think the rest of us, the dividing line is getting the gray area is getting further and further from those people at the top of the heap there. The cream at the top is very thin. There's a lot of liquidity at the bottom there. And I feel like we're all in that liquid idiot stage. And there's only a few of us that are smart enough to accomplish the real goals in life.
You guys want to go to a petting zoo next week? I know of a real good spot.
Does it have apex predators?
$150 a pop, baby.
Fuck yeah, I'm in.
Me too. Right, Andrew?
I think it'll like me.
I'll stand back and take pictures. I always think of that woman that had like the what was it? Was it the chimpanzee that ripped that woman's face off and left her with the butt face from South Park? That is horrible.
Yeah, I've seen some, or I heard about some chimp attacks like that where they've ripped thumbs off, like ripping a thumb off a fucking other human, ripping it out of socket, not just out of socket, but off the body. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and usually then they, I think they eat your balls after that.
That are like faces, like the fingers, faces, and genitalia. Yeah.
They just sing the head, shoulders, knees, and toes song as they tear your body limb from limb.
It's a good thing it's not a caribou from where? From Norway?
A moose?
A reindeer from Norway. Microdose
Viking
of
reindeer.
Viking pee.
Tripping like a reindeer.
Well, you can't knock it. The Vikings, they accomplished goals. They set goals. They ate mushrooms. They accomplished goals.
Well, they really can't knock mushrooms either, quite frankly. So this is a pretty winning formula.
Or the Darwin effect of these reindeer coming across pee that made them think good thoughts, you know, like, oh, what's this? I better try about an ounce or two of this. Woo! And they tell their friends. Then their friends start fucking robbing. You never know what happens.
Maybe Santa's flying reindeer is all just a mushroom trip from a fucking Viking.
There's a whole book dedicated to the mushroom, possibly being the origin of the entire Christian anthology.
Oh, well, that definitely makes sense.
Damn, we need to read that on Christmas. Like the fucking 12 days.
While we're high on reindeer pee.
We're going on Facebook Live Christmas Eve.
We had a consult this evening. It said we need to do a Facebook Live within some relative short period of time. I think we just nailed our content.
I think we just found it.
All right, folks. Middle Class Hosts here. We're going to get to our favorite segment to close out the show. Mr. Murray, tell us what it is and tell us who it's sponsored by.
It's time for your favorite 3 questions of the week. It is time for 3 and Out. And as always, 3 and Out is being brought to you by the Shin Splints Recovery Group. If you've got a little bit of tingle above your toes and below your knee, the Shin Splints Recovery Group is the place for you. I have seen the group exponentially growing over the last several months. There's plenty of people with lower leg issues that apparently take them very seriously.
Yeah, and
I'll just like literally walk it off, which is totally possible with shin splints. But if you're in that recovery stage and you need a like-minded group of people, visit the Shin Splints Recovery Group on Facebook. All right, tonight, your 3 and Out questions read as such. Actually, let's start with the 3 and Out sneak peek. If you'd like, you can go check this out right now at the official The Middle Classholes Facebook page. It reads like this. Wes, we will start with you. Would you rather have aliens be real and covered up by the government, or have no extraterrestrial life at all in the universe?
I feel like you picked this specifically for
I'm glad you started with him.
And I know I almost feel like you planned this out to get a rise out of me. And I just, oh man.
Actually, Wes, I did think of you when I had this question, but this gives you the opportunity to clarify your point on aliens. It has everything that you need. Now, you can say, I'm going to read the question one more time for you, just so I can show you that this is specifically tailored for you. Would you rather have aliens be real, but they are covered up by the government? So they're a real thing, but the government's not going to let you know about them. Or, here's where you fit in, there is no extraterrestrial life, and we're completely aware that there's no extraterrestrial life. Which do you choose?
Yeah, it's now, option 1, do I know that, but no one else knows it? Or am I oblivious to it too?
No, you are aware. You specifically are aware that aliens are real, but you are also aware that the government is covering it up. Now, you can handle that however you choose. You can say, all right, I know it, and I'm going to accept it, or I'm going to go straight QAnon on the world, and I'm going to try to prove this thing and try not to end up in the ground.
Just, I would end up becoming some of the people that I despise. Based upon trying to like push the agenda of some of these conspiracies. But if I ultimately always want to be aware of what's true and what is either known or known even in a fraction, the truth, awareness. I mean, but I guess ultimately, if people aren't agreeing with me, or people, the vast majority, or the government's doing their best to cover it up, you run the risk of running Beaver Road detail 25 miles south of Canadian border. But then also, what? The second option is they don't exist.
At all.
Man, people are going to hate me. I just, like, I feel like I've lived really well and the world's done really well with them not existing. So what would be the point of trying to, like, fight the federal government and know about it? I don't really care about all of it. I'll go with option number 2. They don't exist.
They don't exist at all. Okay. I'll come back to you because, maybe they do exist and the government's just covering them up. But Alan?
I mean, I think we know where I land in this camp. I mean, I'll go with exactly what has happened since the 60s, which is they exist, but the government covered them up until they were like, oh, the country's on fire? Hey, guys, guess what? We have aliens.
Yeah.
And then they just
100%.
walked off. They just fucking walked away.
So are you finding solace in the fact that you know they exist and you're okay with the government covering them up because you at least do know they exist? Like, okay, good. Yeah. Thankfully, I know, but Jesus.
Yeah, and I get it. And, like, I totally get it. Fucking 60s America, we would have fucking the country would have just fucking crumbled. Like, we wouldn't have been able to. We didn't have the mental capacity to handle that then. Now it's like, oh, flying stuff. Yeah, you've been telling us about that since the fucking 80s. Remember the Jetsons, you dicks? Like, thanks. Like, so now I think as a populace, we're like, yeah, okay, thanks government. We knew. Thanks for coming clean. Versus in the 60s, it would have been terrible. It would have been just awful.
So the way I'm going to answer this question might surprise you, Wes, because I know you know that I love aliens, I love Bigfoot, I love the paranormal. There's really not a lot of like hootsy-footsy things that I'm not a fan of. However, I am actually choosing to have no extraterrestrial life in the universe at all because I like things to be conclusive. And I feel like if we finally came to the conclusion that there was no extraterrestrial life at all in the world, we figured it out, it's a done deal, that's extra room for my brain to roam to other areas, like Bigfoot or the paranormal, somewhere else. I can finally put aliens to bed, and then I don't have to try to break through some conspiratorial government cover-up. So I would prefer to have the definitive answer, which is no extraterrestrial life in the universe. However, I got to say, definitely in the minority here, you and I, because it is the consensus on Facebook is unanimous. Everyone wants aliens to be real, even if they are, in fact, covered up by Uncle Sam himself.
Yeah.
Which, again, it kind of shocks me because the other part with aliens not being real is if they do have technologies that are so much superior than ours, there's still the chance that they could come and just wipe us clean off the face of our own planet. And so if there is no extraterrestrial threat, then we can just kill ourselves and we don't have to worry about these outside influencers.
It was unanimous on the Facebook comment thread. I saw that. And I'm not saying I was shocked. I was just, maybe I was hoping for one, someone like-minded, but I get it. It's, I want to know that you want to know about E.T. You want to know about Independence Day. You want to know about Close Encounters of the Third Kind. When that thing comes walking off the...
God damn it.
Here we go.
Not doing it.
I'm going to be disappointed if you don't.
Hello, everybody. I'm Bob Cagle.
That's what it sounds like. It's so funny.
It's so shit. Good. All right. Your second 3-and-out question of the evening reads as this. Alan, we'll start with you. Now, this is a little more complicated, so don't answer right away. Think about it for just a second. Would you rather be unable to close any door once it's opened, or be unable to open any door once it's closed?
That's weird.
It is
like
weird.
I can't close it. Can I close it over? Like
what the fuck does that mean?
Like fucking you just
close it over.
Yeah, you don't close it. Like that's the fucking term. God damn it!
Like 3/4 of the way.
Fucking Philistines. Fucking yeah. You just close it over. You just fucking close. You just push it, but it doesn't all the way close. So that's called closed over. I'm sorry. I don't know how Cecil County school system treated you, but apparently it was poorly. Fuck.
No, because doors are opened or they're closed. They're not like, oh, it's kind of hanging there like a Chad on a Florida ballot. It's just right there, sort of, kind of. We can't really judge
wildly
what
untrue.
This is supposed to be the election-free entertainment podcast episode of the
You ruined
Middle
it.
Classholes, and you
Fucking blew it.
You alien lover, you
That's a
twoofer.
20-year-old reference.
You twoofer.
It's hanging Chad's a phrase. It's more of a well-known phrase than close it over.
No,
the hell does that
definitely-
mean?
Definitely not.
In Cecil County, close it over means, fuck, I knocked the hinges off that door. Why don't we close it over with the tarp?
You got any
Well-
tape, bungee cord?
Well, where regular people live, it's when you just don't close the whole fucking door all the way. You just close it over. So
Okay, I will go with we'll keep with the wild animal analogy. You've got, let's say, a 250-pound black leopard that you keep in your backyard. And once you've opened that door, you can't close it over. It's open or it's closed.
well, that's a very specific door. I might, and I still might open it. Because, like I said earlier, I think me and that black leopard would get along. Is it the same black leopard? Anyway, I digress. I don't. Fuck. No, I don't think so. If I can open any door, but I can't close it again. Close any door, but can't open it. I would say probably the first one. Open any door, can't close it, because then I could close it over for some privacy. Since that's a concept that exists in my mind. But not being able to, like, once I close the door and wouldn't be able to open it again, I think that would bug me more in the long run. Or like, what if I walked in there and I left? What if I sat my phone down and then I can't open it again?
Walk around.
What? No, wait, hold on. The door is to nothing. You didn't establish parameters here, bro. So I could just walk around these fucking doors. Then this question's pointless. Next.
I could.
If I just walk around the fucking door frame, whether it's open or closed, who gives a shit?
No. Oh my God. This is a psychological mindfuck question. I am aware of this, but I do like to hear people's answers and as to why.
I feel like I got it mixed up. You said open any door but can't close it, but then close any door but can't open it.
Correct. So, like, if I want to walk outside right now and I open the door, that door is open. It can't be closed.
Yeah.
Now, if I came inside the house and I close the door, well, fuck, I'm in here now.
Yeah,
Kind of like a jail cell.
Then yeah, I would. That's the lesser of two evils. I'm not going to jail cell myself. I'm not going to close the door knowing that I had to wait for someone else to open it in order to get the fuck out of that thing. That's creepy. I don't like that. What if I went to take a good shit? Well, I guess I'd have to have the door open, then everyone could see me take the shit. Damn it! All right, I'm still going with it. I'll take my chances on the open doors.
Yeah,
as
I'm
the
going with
one
the
guy
open.
said in next Friday. No locked doors.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going with the open door scenario, and I don't know the exact psychological perspective they're trying to get to with this specific question, but I do think it's like, do you want to be closed off from the world, or are you so scared of the world that you want it closed off from you, or how open are you? And I think that's the whole point of it, and it freaks you the fuck out the more you start to think about it. Like, so you're saying as soon as I close that door, I can't open it. All of a sudden, you get all claustrophobic inside, and you start to I get all hot and sweaty. So yeah, I'm leaving that fucking door open. I need an escape plan, baby. But then you guys live in Baltimore City. You guys are dead. You guys are dead in a day.
Actually, we're not dead. All of our stuff's just stolen.
That's true.
And like probably
We
like
wouldn't
a
be
couple
harmed.
days. Probably a couple days, not like a day. They're busy.
And your final question in tonight's 3 and Out. Alan, we will start with you this time around. Okay, we're in tense times, fellas. We're not going to mention what we said we weren't going to mention. It's not going to be mentioned. Not going to bring it up, but it is tense times. So, Alan, would you rather be in a zombie apocalypse or a robot apocalypse? Which warfare would you be more comfortable waging?
Oh my god! So surface, I'm gonna go zombie. I'm assuming traditional zombie, or are we talking like running zombie? we talking 20? Are we talking 28 days later? Or are we talking Dawn of the Dead?
Berserker.
Ooh.
Okay,
I'm gonna.
That's a go for it.
Fucking worst.
Okay, I'm going to say the zombies in this particular apocalypse are, we'll say, at standard value. And what that means is if, let's say Ed Reed of the Baltimore Ravens, former Raven, now retired. Let's say he becomes a zombie. He's got all the abilities and attributes of an Ed Reed. Okay. Usain Bolt might give you an issue in the running zombie scenario, but each zombie has the abilities of their human form. They're just, in zombie form.
Okay. That's fair. And I'm assuming just as a general statement, like general zombie rules apply. Fucking headshots, headshots or kills.
Headshot, soft body. Yeah.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor's still a motherfucker if he comes at you, but if you get him with a bar stool leg, you're still gonna be okay.
Yeah. And plus, like, you got to take into account, there's probably a good introductory period of hiding, kind of surviving. So as they decay, I believe they weaken. So yeah, I'm with that. I'm gonna go zombies. I don't even remember which other alternative. Oh, robots. Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems bad. Like every portrayal of I've seen, there are many, but robots doing bad, taking over the world, and just generally being bad. It's harder to deal with. Because once we've gotten to that point, we've bestowed upon them artificial intelligence, probably above the needed artificial intelligence. Fucking like iRobot with Will Smith, terrible fucking movie, but those were some badass robots. He definitely should have died, but he didn't because he's Will Smith. So yeah, no, zombies all the way. Seems more predictable. I feel like I can deal with that a lot easier. I understand the landscape, whereas robots are just supremely unpredictable.
Okay, Wes.
Is there any chance that the zombie apocalypse could be solely benders from Futurama?
What, the robot one?
Yeah.
I think the different robots would, much like the people in this particular zombie apocalypse scenario, would also have personalities based on what they are. Like, if Teddy Ruxpin becomes sentient, you might have a little bit more of a joyous time with him as you murder and rip the stuffing from his body than, say, like a life-size replica of the T-800 from the Terminator days. So yeah, I would say that the robots themselves would embody some sort of robot-esque style of personality.
I think you missed the point of the question. I was saying like all the robots are just Bender from Futurama.
Just bending units.
No, yeah,
no, what I'm saying is
parameters.
I'm saying that if there's a Bender-esque robot that has become sentient, then yes, you would have maybe a few dozen beers with him. But if the murder bot from Terminator comes after you, then you're not having a good day.
I think there's a murder bot in Futurama too. So.
And there's the gangster bots, a few others.
Now that really just kind of changed my thing up because the pastor robot from Futurama. Like,
no.
Oh, so you
this
should
is
check.
not based on Futurama. This question is not a Futurama-based question.
Hey, don't be a hater. Hold on, I gotta find him now. But yeah, like I'd hang out with the Oh, his name is Reverend Lionel Preacher Bot. I totally forgot about that. But hold on. I can't share. That's okay.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened. But no, I mean, anytime you think of like robot apocalypse, I'm already thinking of T2 and the Wasteland, Terminator rather. Just constantly sneaking under the radar of fucking bots that are parading around that have just technological advances that are very government top secret that we don't know about. So I mean, yeah, you're gonna have to go zombie. You're gonna have to go easily defeatable. But I don't know where the hell you get this idea that Teddy Ruxpin dolls are just gonna start breaking out of fucking basements and attics nationwide. Been stored there for the last 40 years. Like, hey everybody.
Well,
I'm Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah, well, you based the whole argument off of a fake cartoon robot. So
Okay. Yeah, I did. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, but what is fucking Johnny Five from Short Circuit going to come busting through at some point?
Oh, he probably would have
potentially.
fucked people up. Didn't he go into like fucking Crazo mode? He fucked shit up when
To
he
the
did
moon, Alice.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, the covert ops unit that he was a part of before he got struck by lightning or whatever the hell happened to him, that was a badass like unit of fuck you up robots.
Is that how it happened? I thought Steve Gutenberg like spilled a Mr. Pibb on him, and that's what happened. I don't really remember how it began. I just remember Johnny Five.
Steve.
I think they were on I think they were on a I think they were on a training mission, and one of the robots like grazed him like across the head or something, and they couldn't find him at the end of the exercise, and then I think the old Goot came across him and repaired him, and fixed him up a little bit, and he was short circuited, which is the whole fucking title of the movie. Anyway, see, this is the problem with the zombie apocalypse, though. At some point, you might have to murder someone you actually care about. Whereas at least in the robot apocalypse, humanity can come together and fight a common enemy. We can finally erase these imaginary borders and come together as a species to take out a foreign entity that has no domain in our world, and we have no emotional connection to them. Whereas in the zombie apocalypse, you're going to have to murk everyone without any kind of remorse, but you'll be filled with guilt and remorse, and there's no going back on that. So I just feel like with the zombie apocalypse, humanity tears itself apart both from like the disease standpoint and from a humanity standpoint. And in the robot apocalypse, at least if you die fighting a just cause aside your brethren. So you two are both psychopaths.
Listen,
and
nobody said this was going to be easy, all right? No one said this was going to be a real clear-cut decision, okay? All right? You have to make hard decisions in drastic times. You want to sit here and babble about I might having to kill my fucking my next of kin because they're fucking floating around.
Yeah, I think it's just it's more survival for me. Robots, I think, offer me a less survival chance. Zombies, I think my survival rate's higher, and also, I mean, potentially a sociopath. I think once they're zombies, I'm off in whoever. It don't matter. Like,
yeah, but we can't.
If Zombie West and Zombie Murwalk go up to me, we ain't reminiscing about the podcast. I'm fucking offing you, and I'm out of there. Like,
shit sucked.
Anyway. I love you guys. Like, you know what I mean? But it's zombie apocalypse time. So I'm sad.
Yeah, but we can't even get a wrangle right now as we sit here in front of our Zoom podcast because we can't even like get in physical contact with each other because of the fucking mutated flu virus that's going around the globe right now. We're really going to figure out how to wrangle this zombie apocalypse virus that's taken over everybody's minds and bodies. How we defeat that? At least with the robots, we can finally get to the hive center and rip it apart at the Matrix and get the world back. Yeah, it might be a little bit. There might be a few more casualties involved, but at least you don't lose your mind and turn into a mush pirate.
All right, so
that means.
So what you're saying is the Teddy Ruxpins, the Johnny Fives, and the Benders of this whole apocalypse are all centered around some motherboard mainframe deep within the Google plant that's protected by other.
Yeah. I mean, that's how that kind of works. Skynet.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I thought that was
whatever the program was in iRobot. I keep bringing that up, but that's what he's right. There is a centralized intelligence, and we got to kind of deal with it. But I think, look, we're just more fucking exposed to zombie situations. That's all I'm saying. I think it has now sunk in naturally that we can operate. If robot shit happens, we're just gonna freak the fuck out. We don't know what we're doing. You know what I mean?
We've got the full forces of the United States military. We'll be all right, I think.
No,
probably not.
If not, we got Elon Musk to fucking back us up too.
And to your point, it's much easier to avoid I mean, I think at least in practice or in theory, it would be much easier to avoid another human biting you versus like if me and you were sitting next to each other on a park bench and I'm like, Achoo! And then you die. You get like it's a very specific action that has to happen with zombies. You have to bite me. Or like I have to like, I don't know, get blood in my eye or some shit, which is fucking crazy.
Fair enough, but for some reason now my mind's consumed with the thought of did you guys ever put like a Metallica cassette in the back of Teddy Ruxpin? It was pretty fucking awesome.
We Def Leppard. Me and my brother did. All right, you ready for this? Sending you off and freeing out with. Damn it! You guys didn't hear that. I haven't hooked up. All right.
God damn it!
You blew it.
You fucking wasted it.
Actually, how about this one? Let me share this one. Let's try this one.
You can't share. Remember?
Yeah, we'll do it.
The moon, Alice.
There we go. Got it.
That is one of my favorite childhood movies, by the way.
The one that Short Circuit too.
Well, both of them.
They're both pretty
are fantastic. Short Circuit 2, he fucking like, he gets himself all like
the handcuff, it's gone.
Whoa.
Angular, repulsive.
Ooh.
That's from Short Circuit. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, but he puts on like the metal mohawk and he gets all the chains and he goes all punk rocker gangster on everybody.
Oh, yeah. And it's funny that you didn't mention either one of those in one of your good bad movies. So do you think it's just a good movie?
It's a good bad movie.
It's not your top 5 though.
Look, it's got Gutenberg in it, so fucking.
Yeah, it's who spilled a Mr. Piv and created the Short Circuit.
That's how I thought it happened, but fuck.
What happened? Gutenberg. The last place I've seen Gutenberg is on. He was a guest on Holy Moly recently. Rob Riggle and
the Putt Putt Show.
Yes.
Nice.
And Steve Gutenberg was a guest judge for the diving competition. So he's been gone for like 25, 30 years, and he shows up on network television throwaway TV.
Well, he was a boat navigator in the Bahamas and Cocoon too. So, I mean, the royalties from that alone have to be astronomical.
I know.
Is that 3 and out? Is that 3 and out?
That's 3 and out. Yes. Can we talk about Gutenberg? No.
Yeah.
3 Men and a Baby. I mean,
he definitely did some episodes. He was a teacher on that show, The Goldbergs, on ABC. Which is a pretty funny show if you haven't checked it out. But
I think he might have been contractually obligated to do that because the name is so close to his. Goldberg, Gutenberg.
That's fair.
No, but he did all those Police Academy movies,
Mhm.
3 Men and a Baby, Short Circuit, Cocoon. My God, that dude must. Maybe he just retired. Maybe he just said, "Fuck you, Hollywood. I'm done.
Yeah.
I already pillaged. I'm out."
Made some millions. Got out of the game. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
He was also in Diner.
Yeah. Sure was.
Good movie. Baltimore based.
About a guy.
He's in a ton of movies. I'm just looking at his movies.
Oh, yeah. But speaking of folks who got out, Wes.
Yeah, I want to pay tribute, as we have a few too many times that I'd like to do here on the Middle Classholes, pay tribute to another fallen star. I get it. 90 years young, 90 years old, depending upon how you look at things. That's a good life, regardless of who you are, how you lived your life. But a man like Sean Connery, Scottish actor, first known as Bond, did and probably one of the best, if not the best Bond of all time. And went on to have a great, successful movie career. Soon thereon, passed away recently. I typically choose people who I think fit the pop culture reference in order for us to pay tribute to him or those people on our shows or our podcast rather. I think he fits the bill. And tip of the cap. Cheers to the life and all the success of Sean Connery, the Scot. And you were saying, Murr, you said someone taught you how to say his name in his accent?
But I can't remember who it was. They were on the late night TV, and I want to say that it was Daryl Hammond from Saturday Night Live because he did all those bits as Sean Connery on the Celebrity Jeopardy, and he said, "This is how you say it. You have to say Whopper Jr. Okay, now channel your inner Sean Connery, Whopper Jr. Whopper Jr.
Whopper Jr.
Whopper Jr. So it's like it's this Whopper Jr. It really gets that Junior out, and then once you get to Whopper Jr., you can start talking like Sean Connery because you have to kind of push the air through your teeth as you speak. So as you speak with Whopper Jr., you start to speak like this.
I'm sure
So,
because we're paying tribute to a very successful person. We're talking Whopper Jr. Whopper Jr.
Whopper Jr. Sean Connery. Let's see. My favorite. Okay, I love to actually. One of my favorite, the best Sean Connery role of all time was in Indiana Jones.
Yes,
and the Last Crusade. Absolutely,
yeah,
100%. And I think the reason that worked so well is because Spielberg always said that Indiana Jones was supposed to be the blue collar James Bond. So you had James Bond of old playing the father of like the new era James Bond. And It just worked. And Sean Connery was still like, he was that dapper old man that could bang a hot 20-year-old Nazi. And the role just worked perfect for him. And then my other one was when he was in The Rock with what's his face, Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage, Ed Norris, pretty star-studded cast. Yeah, and the gay hair cutter who was in Christ, he's been in a few sitcoms. Forget that guy though. I think
the gay hair cutter. Hold on,
yeah,
I got to get to the bottom of the gay hair cutter. Yeah. Usually known as a hairdresser, but yes, go ahead.
The guy who's cutting Sean Connery's hair after he gets out of jail. On the balcony in The Rock.
Oh. Oh, you're just referencing another actor whose name you don't know.
Yeah, it was just funny. That's all.
No, it's funny because every time we talk about mainstream anything, you bring up the most absolute obscure fucking tidbit that could possibly exist that most human beings have no internal reference for.
Well, yeah, so he gets cornered after he cuts his hair and Connery gets away when he holds Womack over the balcony by the string and then gets pulled up and gets into the elevator to get out of the hotel. He's there with the hairdresser. And that hairdresser, who's been in a couple sitcoms and a few other things, says, I just want to know if you're satisfied with your haircut. In The Rock. That is what I'm saying. All right? Enough.
Was it Balky Bartokomous? Is that the guy who played him?
Yes. It was definitely Balky.
Yeah. He kind of does look like Balky. I wonder if I
said his name, Bronson Pinchot.
Yeah, that's it. He was in Lethal Weapon 2.
Yeah,
he played that character, and he just.
I always think of him as Serge from fucking Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, Serge from Beverly Hills Cop turned into Balky. He said like Serge was the gay version of Balky. He just changed the accent a little bit.
What weapon was it where he gets caught with a Coke?
Sorry. I'm just laughing because we're paying tribute to Sean Connery, and it's turned into a Balky Bartokomous tribute hour. Well, Bronson Pinchot, at least career-wise, has been dead much longer than Sean Connery.
What movie is it? Hold on, by the way, just for frame of reference, I'm talking about this guy right here.
Yeah, you sure are.
He was
talking
on
about that
show.
guy.
Yeah, he was on that TV show that was written by a guy who went to Frostburg State.
Yeah. Oh shit. I know exactly.
Why don't you click on a picture and maybe it'll say like Sean Connery and so so we don't have to live with this mystery. And by the way, he was also Sean Connery in The Highlander. And then one of his other great roles is where he had. I mean, talk about fantastic acting ability. Is the fact that you were playing a Russian submarine captain and you have a Scottish accent and no one gives a shit. The Hunt for Red October.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's just like he's Rusky, but he's got the hell of a Scottish accent. He was Medicine Man. What were you gonna say, Alan?
I think the real coup de grace is the 1999 action thriller Entrapment.
Ooh,
because
with Zeta Jones.
He gets Zeta Jones to dip beneath the lasers.
Right.
Oh yeah.
To his enjoyment. And then he smashes.
This is how you're gonna steal the jewels. You gotta bend.
And then he smashes in Kuala Lumpur because Sean Connery. So,
Yeah, Rising Sun
Can't
with
really beat
Wesley
it.
Snipes. Underrated flick, in my opinion. What are you laughing about, motherfucker?
I'm just waiting for you to name a bit actor from that movie as well.
Tia Carrera. She was in that. She had like the all mangled hand. She was like doing the stuff.
remember the guy from the TV show Wings?
Listen, I'm not that
He was
bad.
not the brother who was the main owner, but he was the other brother. That's the guy.
I'm not that. Am I that bad? Am I that bad with this shit?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Now, so you're not talking about Tim Daly, are you, Alan?
Maybe. I can't even remember. I just remember Thomas Hayden Church was like the pilot or like the mechanic. Do you remember
You're
that?
talking about Steven Weber. That's who you're talking about.
Wait, the mechanic guy?
No, the handsome young brother.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know that
Like,
Wings
sure.
also cross promoted with Cheers? There were some episodes where like Norm was in Cheers,
Did they?
or Norm was in Wings. Yeah,
Huh.
he's
Wow.
a holdover in that airport, which was out of like New Hampshire or Providence or something like that, right?
Like, damn, we're really go back 1990.
Yeah, this is going to win us over a lot of new followers. I'm going to tell you right now.
Seasons of Wings.
8? Ugh, 4 too many.
90s TV was fucking terrible.
Hey, bite your tongue. We watched Wings every night in the Murr house.
So did I. Wings was incredible.
Along with Becker and Northern Exposure, dickface. All right.
Becker.
Once Cheers came to a halt, got to get Ted Danson somewhere. Ugh. Do you know Will Smith was in a really good Ted Danson movie?
What?
Yeah.
What
it's
Ted Danson movie was Will Smith
He's
in?
the car salesman who falls in love with Whoopi Goldberg, and it's something that I can't...
Yeah, that's Made in America.
That's right.
Will Smith's in that?
Will Smith is what's-her-face's friend with benefits, maybe. The daughter, who was also in Friday, who falls in love with Craig.
Oh, you're talking about Nia Long. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. You remember Nia Long?
Yeah.
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 Me too.
Huh. Damn. So hold on, let's round this up. What have we talked about? Made in America.
Balky.
Balky. We talked about both short circuits. Judge Steve Gutenberg, just in general. Yeah,
talking
I
about
think this one's
because
this one's a hit.
And everything in Hollywood is true. Everything in movies is correct.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the basis of my life. So
That's right. Oh boy.
Is that weird?
No. I think what it means is we need to wrap this shit up. We need to close this motherfucker down.
This is a lot of this is good behind the scenes. Maybe no, probably not. Maybe.
In front
No,
of the
because it's in
scenes.
front of everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, we should
Well, I
probably
figure-
We've been
Yeah,
recording
shield
the
this with
entire
the
time.
camera.
We've been recording the entire time. Alan, any last words for the officer who's now doing Beaver Dam crossing duty up in northern New York?
Don't smash the governor's daughter. It's bad. It's a bad look. If he's a very aggressive Italian man, if he was like, just an average Norwegian, sure, fucking smash away. But it seems just like the wrong guy. Is all I'm saying.
Just smash away, baby. Don't even make love. Smash away.
Smash away.
I think what Wes was getting to, Alan, is if you do happen to find yourself stationed as far away from civilization as possible, and you need a little entertainment, you can find us on Facebook at the Middle Classholes, or on Twitter as MDL Classholes. And Alan, you can wrap up the rest.
I don't even know what you said.
Son of a bitch.
I'm going to tell
Find
you.
us on Apple.
We're on podcast stuff. just listen to us. You can mail us. We'll send you some cassette tapes. Those are probably pretty good. Yeah. No. So at MDL Classholes, Twitter,
and
Instagram,
if the algorithm,
Facebook, the Middle Classholes.
if the algorithm is correct, and as we understand it, we're going to gain a shit ton of short circuit and followers.
You can follow us at Steve Gutenberg Fan Club on Twitter and Instagram.
And as always, I'm Bobcat. Don't worry.